Hello, Reactor Lab here, and today I will be comparing all of my detectors to each other. Now, yes, this isn't going to be exactly the most fair thing ever, since, if you compare something like the HFS-10 to the radio code 102, it's obvious which one is better. Radio code 102. But this is just basically going to go over all of their main features, all of their functions, and their value for the price. So, let's get right into it. Due to further consideration, I will not be comparing my radio code 102 to my Geiger counters. Think of scintillators and Geiger counters like a microscope versus a magnifying glass. The microscope, my radio code 102, is way more powerful, picking up even the faintest details and giving you a clear view of what's going on the atomic level. But that doesn't mean the magnifying glass, or the Geiger counter, is useless. It's still quick, easy to use, and great for getting a broad overview when you don't need super fine detail. Plus, Geiger counters are a lot more iconic. Scintillators are unmatched when it comes to accuracy and sensitivity, but Geiger counters still hold their ground for simple checks and rough readings. Just thought I'd let you know before the video starts. So I decided to go in order from the first one I purchased, which would be this GMC 300S, to the latest one I purchased, which you will have to wait and see. Woo! Foreshadowing YouTuber ridiculousness. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, the first Geiger counter I ever got, and what started my entire hobby, really, is this GMC 300S right here. Now, you might hear that the speaker sounds a little different, and I put a little hole in the case and put like a piece of electrical tape over the speaker to make the Geiger counter click sound bassier. You can see I modified this one quite a bit. I cut open this little portion of the case to allow more beta particles to enter into the Geiger Mueller tube. Now you can see background radiation. It has counts per minute, microsieverts an hour, which actually isn't too inaccurate for most things, but it's calibrated on cesium-137, so once again, don't ever use a Geiger counter in microsieverts per hour unless you know you are measuring specifically what it's calibrated on. Same thing for Miller-Roentgen. I always use counts per minute for Geiger counters unless they're energy compensated or I'm measuring exactly what they're calibrated on. So there's large font, text mode, which this basically just gives you a bunch of different, like, some information. Then, last but not least, there's graph or graphic mode, which shows you all of the counts and whatnot, and there's a few different things you can do to customize it. The zoom, which I pretty much always leave on auto, so that it automatically scrolls with, like, the amount of radiation. There's bar charts. The buttons I find on this are a little not inaccurate. Wow. The buttons are a little hard to press sometimes on this. For the money, yeah, it works. It's good for a first Geiger counter. Compared to, some of my more modern equipment, as I already said in the video. If you compare this, for instance, to, a radio code 102, of course the radio code is going to win, because, it's just better, it's more expensive, it's very customizable and whatnot. But for the money, yeah, it's good. It's pretty decent. So now I'm going to grab some samples. Alright. First up, I have this uranium glass plate. And you can see, it notices it, but to be honest, uranium glass isn't that strong either, but this is a decently strong plate, so it's just not the most sensitive thing in the world, but hey, it's decent. For $50, absolutely worth it in my opinion. It's a working Geiger counter. It got me started in the hobby, so yeah, it means something to me. Yeah, it's okay. Not too bad. The reaction time, also not too bad. Not the fastest, definitely not the slowest. But yeah, you can see it's decent. It's pretty good. So 120 counts per minute, let's just call it. If I left it on, it could get up to like 150 sometimes, but yeah. Next, I will get in some thorium welding rods. Why not? Alright. Just got my thorium welding rods. These contain thorium. So I bunched them all up together. Put this on top of it. Tiny bit spicier than the uranium glass, but not by a lot. It's not spicy sample, but I mean, yeah, it's actually pretty. This almost immediately noticed that there was something there, so I'll give it that. Slightly more radioactive than uranium glass. I'm gonna sit here for 2 minutes while it slowly accumulates. I'm just gonna move on to some very low-grade uranium ore. Alright, I grabbed my piece of Castlite, which you might recognize from the uranium ore short. Very beautiful sample, if the camera will focus. Decently spicy. Now, one thing I've noticed is the higher the radiation levels, the quicker the response, which is a good thing. So for a lot of the weaker samples I have, it takes a minute, but for things like this, which, I mean, aren't the most spicy, but like you can see pretty quickly it just shot up to like 2,600, 700. We'll just call it 2,600 counts per minute. And now, for some Fiestaware samples that I'm actually selling on eBay. So I'll have a link to my eBay page in a comment and in the description. So if you want to head over and buy one of the things I'm selling, I would not mind. That would be great. It supports the channel, and I use all of the money from my eBay sales for my YouTube channel and for the hobby. So yeah, let me go grab one of these samples. Alright, so I grabbed one of the small size samples and one of the large samples. Now, first I'll do one of these small samples, which you can see is a decent amount of Fiestaware pieces. And for the small size, it's actually quite spicy. One thing I like about these is there's enough uranium in the actual package itself to be like radioactive enough to test pretty much any Geiger counter, as long as it'll actually like as long as it's not like one of the CDV 717s that starts measuring things at 1 Rontgen per hour. But one thing I like about these is they're small, but they definitely pack a punch, and because they're small, they're easily manageable and shielded and whatnot, and they're really, really good for experiments and stuff. You can see this one's a lot spicier. So, pretty cool, pretty awesome. So, these are definitely awesome. I would recommend heading over and getting one if you're interested. Now, onto a large piece of Fiestaware. Alright, so here I have a Fiestaware plate. Entire plate. And you can see this reacts quite strongly at, if I put it like in the middle, it'll probably, no, a little higher in the edges because there's more Fiestaware glaze. So, 4,500, I guess, is what it is. It's a nice plate. And now on to some decently high activity uranium ore. Ooh. Alright, so here I have a very small sample of uraninite. You can see the tiny little crystals in this second bag. And spicy. So that's 20,000. So here I have some uraninite crystals in a bag. As you can see, they're quite spicy at 20,000 pounds per minute about. So like 18, 19,000. There, 20,000. Pack a punch for such small crystals. But now, on to the next detector. So, the next detector that I bought is this little detector right here, the HFS-10. Now, this is mainly a dosimeter. It is not really great for active dose rate measurement. It's more total dose, so you like clip it on your like vest or something, or jacket, clip it to your pocket, and then it tells you, hey, at the end of a set amount of time you've absorbed like set amount of radiation. So now for the first sample, uranium glass plate. Now this thing, to be honest, isn't really that sensitive. You can see it hasn't gone up at all. Like, at all. Same plate I tested with the GMC 600, not GMC 600, GMC 300S, wow. But, this doesn't really detect it. And yes, the Geiger Mueller tube is on this side. It's just not strong enough. Thorium. Now, I don't actually ever recall measuring this exact sample with this, so we'll see if it picks it up at all or goes up. Put it directly on the things. Oh yeah, it notices it. Good. Okay, so that's good. Oh yeah, and the screen sleeps if you don't press a button within an amount of time that you can. Probably should have shown you the menu, but you press any of the 3 radiation symbol buttons, which I think is funny, and you can do a lot of stuff. Units, which there's only microsieverts and micrograys, so basically the same thing for this. You can set the alarm thresholds, total dose, and dose rate, records, schedule, sound, the normal. Oh, yeah, this is not very sensitive. Low-grade uranium ore. Woo! Doing all this one-handed is a little weird. Okay. So it notices it. Not great, though. Now for the Fiestaware sample. Now, first I'll measure the small one. And yeah, this is not great for active dose rate measurement. And interestingly, it's more expensive than the GMC 300S. I definitely recommend the GMC 300S over this any day. But that does very little. And this, oh yeah, that notices it a little bit. Yeah, not great. This is, once again, made to be a total absorbed dose is its, like, main purpose and best use. It is not good for active dose rate measurement, and it is also slow. But now for the Fiesta wear. Now! Slow and insensitive. Woo! This does very, very little. Uranite. This should hopefully do something. Ah, yeah, there we are. Now we have to wait 10,000 years for it to actually update until it gets its final value. Alright, 10,000 years have passed, and it's at 41 microsieverts per hour. Overall, I'd have to give it a 3.6 Rontgen. Not great, not terrible. Okay, I'm sorry for the Chernobyl joke. Forgive me. So, next up I have my trusty GMC 500 Plus. By far the best Geiger counter I own. Now, this thing... Ooh boy. Yeah, this has got a lot of really good features and tons of different modes. Now, I don't have time to explain everything. If you guys want me to do a full review on this, I am absolutely willing to do that, because this is amazing. Really, really good. But now, on to some samples. Now, this thing is fast. It's very sensitive. I mean, it's a Geiger counter, so it's not the most accurate, but as far as Geiger counters go, I mean, for the accuracy, it's not terrible. Oh, and there's that alarm. Ooh. Yeah, I'm gonna turn that off. That's loud. That's better. You can see there's tons and tons of stuff in the menu. But, wow, that's already at 90. Very, very, very good. Definitely recommend this to anyone. Now, on to the next sample. Thoriated tungsten welding electrodes. Wow. Fast and very sensitive. Once again, accuracy, not great for any Geiger counter. That's just a flaw that Geiger counters in general have. But, yeah, that's awesome. Very, very good. Now for the next sample. Awesome. Yeah, this thing is amazing. Now on to the next sample. Here. Get all those pieces at the bottom. Yep. Nice. 650-ish. $3,000. Like about 3,000. It goes up and down, but we'll just call that 3,000. Now for Fiesta War plates. 5,000. Nice. Uranite. This is gonna be yeah. That's what I like to hear. So, overall, I would definitely recommend this Geiger counter. It's really, really good, and I like it a lot. It's the best Geiger counter I own. Now, this is the next detector that I got, the FNEC GC-01. But, I mean, well, yes, it wasn't exactly an upgrade. I mean, I didn't want it to be an upgrade exactly, but it was a really, really good purchase, actually. I like it a lot. Count per second, which is going to be faster. Woo. Now, uranium in glass. Yeah, it actually goes up a decent amount. For this, maybe not my receivers per hour, but counts per minute might be good. Yeah, that's more like it. Pretty quickly sets off the alarm. Very sensitive. Thorium. One of my favorite elements. My most favorite element, uranium, of course. This. Yeah, this goes off pretty quickly. Castlite. Almost instant. Fist wear. Almost instantaneous. This thing is actually really, really good for the price. The only real thing that I would do to improve this is the clicking noises. You can't have a Geiger counter without clicking noises. But I mean, honestly, its speed and accuracy, it actually makes up for it, as well as the sensitivity. It's actually surprisingly sensitive. This is another detector I would absolutely recommend to anyone starting out for just a cheap, quick Geiger counter. Either this or the GMC 300S. So yeah. Now for my Fiesta word plate, which if I just go like that, didn't even touch it, and it's already freaking out. It does also vibrate, so that's what that weird noise is that you're hearing. Yeah. Which actually pretty good. Acknowledge the alarm. Go to the graph, and it'll show you. Oh, yeah. Background. Not background. Uraninite is next. It was already picking it up before I even put the detector on it. Very, very good. You can see the LED is just... yeah, it's very, very good. And one thing I like about this is its accuracy. It's one of the few detectors where the microsieverts per hour is actually semi-close to the radio codes. It's nice. I would definitely recommend this to anyone, pretty much. It's good. Alright guys, so that was a review and comparison of all of my Geiger counters. If you guys would like to see more content, like and subscribe. I will have links to my eBay listings with the check sources that I'm selling on eBay in the description of the video and in a comment. So if you guys would like to check that out, then go right ahead. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day.